Why a nuclear war between China and the US should make us scared. Tensions between the United States and China have reached unprecedented heights in the year 2026. The US maintains a strong presence in the Pacific region, with several allies such as South Korea, Japan, and Taiwan a disputed territory. While the US considers Taiwan an independent nation and has extensive trade relations with it, China views it as a renegade province that must be reclaimed at any cost. China has been rapidly expanding its military capabilities in the South China Sea, constructing artificial islands and deploying military bases. This aggressive behavior has led to territorial disputes with neighboring countries like Vietnam and the Philippines. Incidents of close encounters between Chinese and American aircraft and ships have resulted in deadly crashes, sparking blame and tension between the two nations. The election of a new US president who campaigned on taking a tough stance against China further strained relations between the two countries. The US has increased its military presence around Japan and South Korea, ready to defend Taiwan at a moment's notice. Meanwhile, China's leader Xi Jinping is facing challenges from hardliners and reform activists within the Chinese Communist Party. Xi Jinping is determined to avoid the fate of Mikhail Gorbachev, the last leader of the Soviet Union who was ousted by hardliners. He understands that a significant victory could save his regime. However, China's plan to take Taiwan faces a significant obstacle: the US commitment to defending the island. To succeed, China must catch the US off guard and eliminate any possibility of a military response. China leverages its notorious cyber core, known for hacking government organizations and private companies, to orchestrate a massive cyber attack on the United States. The attack disrupts communication systems and digital infrastructure across the country, aiming to sabotage a swift US response to the invasion of Taiwan. As the attack unfolds, Chinese warships are seen heading toward Taiwan on news sites that manage to come back online. The US, caught off guard by the cyber attack and with its military infrastructure temporarily impaired, struggles to mount an immediate response. The president orders US ships in the area to proceed towards Taiwan, even as Chinese vessels surround the island and demand its surrender. Xi Jinping delivers a speech justifying the military action as an internal matter, warning against outside intervention and threatening dire consequences. The US ships face resistance from Chinese forces, resulting in a fierce naval engagement. While several US ships are sunk, others manage to break the blockade and engage Chinese planes, shooting many of them down. The conflict intensifies as Taiwan becomes a battleground with heavy casualties on both sides. Amid escalating rhetoric and accusations, the US Congress approves a substantial aid package to support Taiwan. The US launches military strikes on Chinese military bases in the South China Sea, aiming to cripple China's military capabilities without causing widespread civilian casualties. China faces a difficult decision on whether to escalate further. China retaliates by launching ballistic missiles targeting US bases in Guam and Virginia. Intercepted missiles over Norfolk prevent a catastrophic attack, but Hawaii suffers significant damage, leading to the loss of millions of lives. The US and China find themselves locked in a nuclear war with casualties mounting into the millions. The public sentiment in both countries supports continued aggression. The US targets Chinese military bases with tactical nuclear strikes while sparing major cities, attempting to force China to surrender. China pulls back from Taiwan and regroups, focusing on defending Hong Kong and the mainland. Both sides reach a stalemate, realizing that a full-scale nuclear war would result in mutual destruction. China temporarily withdraws to rebuild its forces, avoiding an immediate US assault on the Chinese mainland. The US consolidates its position around Taiwan and its allied countries, working towards reconstruction and strengthening military bases. The toll of the limited nuclear exchange is devastating, with millions of lives lost and widespread radiation contamination. The situation remains fragile as China still possesses mobile nuclear launchers capable of launching retaliatory strikes. However, both countries choose to step back from the brink, maintaining a tense standoff. The hypothetical scenario underscores the delicate balance between nuclear powers and the catastrophic consequences of escalation. The limited war serves as a stark reminder of the risks inherent in conflicts between nations possessing nuclear arsenals. The world breathes a sigh of relief as the immediate crisis subsides, but the long-term implications and potential for future conflicts continue to cast a shadow over global stability.